The truth about health guarantees when buying puppies. Most breeders will offer you a 2-year health guarantee on average and seem to think that offering 2 years is something great, as I guess others offer 12 months. But the reality is most problems within purebred dogs do not show up before 2 years. And with a 2-year health guarantee, it's usually for 24 months of age for the dog, not from the day of sale. Not that 8 weeks is that big of a difference, but however, by 24 months of the dog's age, if you have an issue, you are then required to provide all the proof, including all your veterinarian documents, which often will cost you potentially tens of thousands of dollars to get all the proper testing done to prove that you've done everything on your end, to have the breeder turn around and tell you, as it says in your contract, that the breeder's vet will have final say, which often they will favor on the side of the breeder. So you're left with nothing. And if the breeder does decide to agree, then what they do is they offer you a replacement puppy when one becomes available, and they generally choose that puppy. However, when you buy a puppy, you're buying basically a member of your family. You're attached. And what person wants to give up their dog with the sense that there's a possibility that dog is going to be euthanized just so you can get a replacement puppy? Most people will absolutely not do that unless it's somebody who bought a dog for breeding purposes. But it's very rare that somebody who bought a dog as a pet to be part of their family is going to do that. And breeders know that. They make a health guarantee and, make it sound fancy because they're just trying to look like they're doing something ethical. But when you read the paperwork, if you really look at your contract well, you will see there's so many loopholes that a breeder can jump through so that they, in fact, regardless of what goes on with your dog, they don't owe you nothing. And they won't give you anything unless, of course, they're a decent breeder. Then they won't question you. They won't require you to spend thousands, potentially tens of thousands of dollars to do the testing. They will just listen to you, look at the evidence, and they will do whatever it is that you're looking for to resolve the issue. Some breeders will pay for medication if that's what's required, or they'll put some money towards doing surgery, which could be just the cost of the purchase of the dog. But that's very rare. Most breeders do nothing. They will offer you a replacement puppy after you have tried everything, and they've tried everything to not give you anything. They will then offer you a replacement puppy, but you give that dog back, and they do that just because they know most people are not going to take that option. And then when you look at the other information on the contract, it usually says, like if we're talking hip dysplasia, you have to feed a certain diet. You can't exercise a dog a certain way, which is absolutely impossible to prove whether you did or you didn't. And when you read all the print, which isn't even fine print, there's so many loopholes that a health guarantee is not even worth the paper it's written on. It's absolutely useless. So the best thing is to find breeders that have been in the business for 10, 20 years or more of the breed that you're looking at, because no breeder's perfect. They will have produced dogs that have had issues, and it's how they deal with those issues and how often those issues are common within their breeding program lets you know if that is the type of breeder you really want to deal with. So just because you got a health guarantee, no matter what it says, whether it's 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, in my opinion, all health guarantees should be about 5 years minimum, because that is a dog that is just reaching into adulthood. 2 years is still a pup, basically, and very little goes wrong at that time. It's usually just after the 2 year mark when everything falls apart, if it's going to. So looking for breeders that have been in the breed, like I said, for 10, 20 years. And they're in every breed if you do your research. That is where you're going to find generally a breeder that is involved for the breed and that really will work with the customers if something does go wrong. And they generally don't make you return the dog. And they will bend over backwards to make things right, because if it's just a dog here and there that something goes wrong with, really, what are they losing? Nothing. Not when they're selling dogs for large amounts of money. It's not a loss. It's called just what's right.